Closed captioning for Red Sox baseball on Nesson is provided by Verizon, the Yawkey Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, and Aflac.
Live from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California, Nesson presents exclusive coverage of Boston Red Sox baseball. Tonight, the Red Sox take on the San Diego Padres. Hi, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. The Red Sox and Padres wrap up their three-game series. The Red Sox continue interleague play, and tonight they send Pedro Martinez to the mound.
Not great success in interleague play for Pedro Martinez. If we look at his numbers in his career, only a 5-5 record at interleague play with an ERA of over 4. That's not very much like Pedro. And in his last 4 starts, 0-3. He's had some great moments, at least one great moment here in San Diego. That was back in '95 when he took a perfect game into the 10th inning. It was Bip Roberts who got a base hit to break that up. But other than that, has not had a lot of success here. Now, every time Pedro pitches, obviously, we watch him very closely, as Pedro does. He's unsure what he's going to bring to the mound every time he steps out there. Red Sox fans hope it's something very good tonight.
And the Red Sox hoping to put together some runs in this final game of the three-game series. We're back in San Diego at the lineups in the first pitch after this. And good evening, everybody. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy with you from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California, as we get ready for the third and final game in this three-game series. The rubber game in this three-game series. The Red Sox trying to take 2 out of 3. And we take a look at the standings. The Red Sox a game better than the Yankees as a result of the Yankees' loss today to Colorado. The Yankees are a game back. Baltimore 12 games back. And, of course, Toronto and Tampa Bay pretty much out of the race in the early going. Here in the NL West, where the Padres are in the basement, 31-40, they find themselves 13 games back at the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are a game and a half better than the Red Sox next foe, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Red Sox, after the ball game tonight, will be busing their way up to Los Angeles to begin a three-game series with the Dodgers over the weekend before returning to Fenway Park to begin next week's homestand against the Cleveland Indians. The lineups have been exchanged at home plate. Again, another overcast night here in San Diego. Seems like wherever the Red Sox go.
Yeah, we bring the bad weather. It's unbelievable. The greatest weather in the world. We come here and we get 2 cloudy days.
It's amazing. Well, the Red Sox will be sending Pedro Martinez to the mound. We, of course, highlighted him in the open. He was scheduled to go against Bobby Jones. The former New York Mets pitcher has been here with the Padres, but Bobby Jones has had an elbow problem as of late and could not go tonight. So they have had to dip into their bullpen, and we'll see a spot start tonight for Kevin Pickford, who's actually making his 3rd start of the year, his 10th appearance overall. And Pickford still looking for his first win. He's 0-1, and he gets the unlucky draw to go up against Pedro Martinez tonight.
Bobby Jones experienced some tenderness in his elbow when he was throwing on the side between starts. So apparently the scratch made early this afternoon, because by the time we got to the ballpark, that switch had already been made, so the lineup Grady Little made out was for a left-handed pitcher.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Padres.
Well, the Padres take the field tonight in front of another good crowd in San Diego. All the crowd's been pretty good here for the three-game series between the Red Sox and Padres. Let's take a look at the visiting Boston Red Sox starting lineup tonight. Ricky Henderson at the top of that lineup, back in left field for the 2nd straight night. Johnny Damon at center field. Omar bats 3rd at shortstop. Jay Hillenbrand for the first time ever in the cleanup spot bats 4th tonight. Jason Varitek does the catching, bats 5th. Tony Clark in there at first base. Rod Nixon in right. Last 3 games, trots 5 for 9. Lou Merlone at second base, bats 8th, and Pedro Martinez bats for himself and pitches.
The defense tonight for the Padres, D'Angelo Jimenez will be at 3rd base, Davy Cruz the shortstop, Julius Matos at 2nd, and Ryan Kletzko the first baseman. Left to right, Roy Langford, Mark Kotsay, and Bubba Trammell. Wiki Gonzalez doing the catching. He caught in game 1 of this series. And on the mound will be Kevin Pickford. Don told you about Kevin. most of his work out of the bullpen, has had a couple of starts, 0-2 in those starts. He was in independent baseball last year. Sonoma County spent some time in the Pirates minor league system, missed an entire season with an elbow operation, and here he finds himself matched up against Pedro Martinez in Game 3 of this series.
Mark Wegner has the plate tonight for the umpires. Lance Barksdale at first, Bill Welke at second, and Tim Sheeta, the umpire, at third.
Let's take a look at tonight's game notes, brought to you by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Career against the Padres, 6-2 with 1 save for Pedro. Padres have scored 3 runs or less in 11 of those last 12 home games. And the Padres bullpen the last 7 games, 4 saves. And of course, Trevor Hoffman, well, you just don't want to get to face Trevor Hoffman against the Padres.
Ricky Henderson makes his way to the plate. The Red Sox and Padres ready to go tonight from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. Henderson at 242, 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. Was 0 for 3 here last night with a sacrifice fly. And the first pitch to Ricky in there for a strike. Henderson does not have a hit so far in the road trip. He's 0 for 7 with a run batted in. And quickly in the hole, 0-2. You can tell Ricky didn't like that last call. Ricky missing 12 games with the injured back and sore hip as a result of banging into the wall at Yankee Stadium a couple of weeks ago. Returned to the Red Sox lineup this past Sunday in Atlanta. And says he feels better every day. Still feels a little bit in the lower back area. Fights it on foul off the right side. Still 1-2 to Ricky Henderson.
One of the great stats on Pickford, when he goes 0-1 on a hitter, opposing batters are hitting 185. When he goes 1-0, they're hitting 500. Wow. So you talk about the importance of a first pitch strike.
You got ahead of Ricky. You'll see what Henderson's fate is. 1-2 the count. Ricky went, strike 3, indicated by the home plate umpire Mark Wegner, and Pickford strikes out the first Red Sox batter of the night.
All fastballs from Pickford, and that at bat against Henderson, all about 88 miles an hour. This fastball up and away. Henderson tries to check the swing, cannot do it, and is called out by the home plate umpire. Didn't even have to ask for help.
One down. Johnny Damon hits out after the first pitch, loops it into center field for a base hit. Matos, the second baseman, had to run it down out there in shallow center. And Damon, the first base runner of the night.
4 straight games now for Johnny Damon. Fights off that fastball from the lefty. Damon starts the game at 327, 3rd in the league in hitting. Nomar just behind him.
Here is Nomar, 0 for 4 last night with a run batted in. And the road trip has not been very kind to Nomar so far. He's 3 for 18 on the trip at just 167. As he returns home to Southern California, more so. And the Red Sox go to the Dodgers for the final leg of this 3-city trip. Nomar's dad on hand here, as he has been for the entire series. Working from the stretch as Damon gains his lead at first. And this is low and away to Nomar, 1-1.
Not a big difference there in the velocity between fastball and changeup. Fastball 88, that changeup at 83.
This is again 2-1 now to Nomar. Red Sox will bus up to Los Angeles after this game tonight. What are we looking at? 2:15, somewhere in there?
Depends on traffic. Anywhere from 2 hours to 7 hours.
I would think at the time of night we're going, it should be in the 2:15 range. It's a foul off the right side. 2-2 now to Garciaparra. Makes much more sense to bus than to fly. It'll take you longer to get to the airport and get out. will be in the hands of Jerry Remy, who's going to drive us up there. First time since spring training.
You're in charge of directions.
We may never get there. Chop down the third base line outside the bag at third, foul. And my options were ride with Jerry Remy or ride with Joe Castiglione, and there really is no option there. Not a very good driver.
Yeah, you always question whether you will be at the game tomorrow night if you go with Joe. He could be anywhere from Vegas
to Mexico.
New Mexico.
Esco holds on Damon at first. Nomar waiting on the 2-2. In the air to center. Kotze headed straight back. Full bore. Will run it down. Got a good jump and hauls it in. Garcia Parra's retired. Back to the bag at first goes Johnny Damon, 2 down.
What an excellent jump Kotze got in center field on this line drive. That ball was crushed by Garcia Parra. A low fastball and right over the head of Kotze. Got an excellent jump. He's a very, very good center fielder with an excellent throwing arm. We saw that earlier in this series. Never took his eye off the baseball. Damon was just about to second base. He has to return to first.
Two down. Shea Hillenbrand in the cleanup spot for the first time for the Red Sox. Earlier in the year, Grady Little saying that he didn't want to put too much pressure on Shea Hillenbrand, but the way he swung the bat all season long and has him in the cleanup spot tonight. Normally against lefties, it's been Nomar who's slid into that 4 spot. Hillenbrand 2 for 4 here last night with a double and a triple. Scored the run that brought the Red Sox back within a run. In fact, here's the leadoff hitter for the Red Sox who got a triple off Trevor Hoffman, but then Hoffman shut the Red Sox down pretty much after that. And of course, Hillenbrand in game 1 of the series with a big 3-run home run that propelled the Red Sox over the Padres and gave them a victory in the first game of the series. There goes Damon at first. The pitch is inside, and the throw skips into center field. Damon will pick himself up and move to third. Wiki Gonzalez fired it through and kicked into shallow center. Damon with a stolen base. Error charge to the catcher.
Well, watch Gonzalez. He's got to throw right over the top of Shea Hillenbrand on this. The ball's inside and right over the top of Hillenbrand. No interference by any means. It is a case where the second baseman, Mato's got to come off the bag and try to knock that down. They got no chance of getting Damon. You can't let that ball get into center field.
A chance here for Shea Hillenbrand to drive in a run. The 2-1 misses away. Jason Varitek waits on deck. Hillenbrand 5 for 20 currently on the road trip at 200. On the ground right side, Montos ranges over and throws out Hillenbrand to end the inning. Red Sox leave a man at third, half an inning done. Red Sox get nothing. Padres coming up from San Diego. Back in San Diego, the Red Sox don't score in the top of the first inning. Padres coming to the plate in the last of the first. Mark Kotze, very good as a leadoff hitter. .333 as he leads off. Center fielder. Batting second, Davy Cruz. At shortstop, Ryan Klesko's at first base. Ray Langford in left. Bubba Trammell in right field. D'Angelo Jimenez at third base, bats sixth. Wiki Gonzalez does the catching. Julius Matos at second base, bats eighth. And Kevin Pickford does the pitching.
Defense tonight for the Red Sox. Shea Hillenbrand will be at third base. Nomar Garcia-Parra, the shortstop. Lou Maloney at second. And Tony Clark at first. Left to right, Ricky Henderson, Johnny Damon, Trot Nixon, Jason Varitek behind the plate. And Pedro doing the pitching at 7-2 with a 3.18 ERA. That ERA is now 9th best in the league.
Pedro with 99 strikeouts trails Roger Clemens, who leads the league, and a .221 batting average against puts Pedro 5th in the league. He is trying to stop a 2-game losing streak, losing against Arizona, and last time against Atlanta. That was a 2-1 ball game.
And what a tough outing that was. 8 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked 1 and struck out 5. It is the first time that he's lost back-to-back outings since 1998. He lost 3 straight that season. Ready to work to Mark Kotsay. Slashes it foul off the left side.
One of Pedro's greatest moments happened in this ballpark. The perfect game through 9 and then broken up in the 10th inning by a base hit by Bip Roberts. That was many moons ago. What, 95?
He was a member of the Montreal Expos. Grounded foul outside of first. He's ahead of Kotsay, 0-2. Pedro 7-2, beginning the year at 7-0. First time as a Red Sox pitcher that he has gone 7-0 to begin a season. Kotsay strikes out. Pedro Martinez on 3 pitches disposes of Mark Kotsay.
Now, last time out against Atlanta, Pedro only had 5 strikeouts in that ball game, allowing 8 hits on the 2 earned runs. Fastball from Martinez at about 91 miles an hour to pick up the first strikeout of this ball game.
Here's Davy Cruz, the shortstop. Cruz at .249, 4 homers and 21 runs driven in. Pretty good, but no call. 2-0 the count. Pedro is 4-1 with a 1.88 earned run average in 7 games started on the road. This is fouled back and just to our right. 2-1 now to Davy Cruz with Ryan Klesko waiting on deck as the Padres bat in the bottom of the first inning. Davy Cruz was held hitless here last night, 0 for 4, and is just 1 for his last 19. After that pitch, 2-2.
Change up there from Pedro. Top 4 guys in this lineup have faced Martinez in the past. The rest of them have not.
Now the 2-2. Doesn't chase, and it's a full count now to Davy Cruz. Pedro struck out Kotsay to begin the outing. Now he strikes out Davy Cruz. 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back Ks for Pedro Martinez to begin his outing tonight.
Well, that's what makes Pedro different than most pitchers. 3 straight changeups to a right-handed batter. Davy Cruz waiting for the fastball, never got it. 3 straight changeups, and finally picks up the strikeout. Now here's the guy that gives him a lot of trouble. Klesko, .385 in his career with 4 career home runs off Martinez.
13 home runs on the season, the lead. The Padres in that category, 39 RBIs. And out after the first pitch. I can't think of another guy who has that many home runs against Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, we'd have to do some research on it, but I can't imagine anybody having many more than that.
Remember, we were in Toronto. Shannon Stewart's numbers were very good against Pedro, but I don't think he had 4 home runs against Pedro. Had a high batting average. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 to Ryan Klesko. Fights it off. Foul above the screen. 1-2.
That fastball 85, but that was a cut fastball from Pedro. That's the one that breaks very late, and he tries to jam left-handed hitters with it.
Klesko has been stymied in the series, 0 for 8 over the first 2 games. Up and away. 2-2 to Klesko. Looking for his first hit of the series. Pedro trying to strike out the side. Gets the sign from Veritek. The 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Martinez begins the night in spectacular fashion. He strikes out the side. Done with 1 from San Diego. No score.
after 1. Let's take a look at the home run leaders around baseball, brought to you by New England Ford dealers. These are updated. A-Rod with 20. Tomey, Giambi, and Ventura are all tied with 19. In the National League, Sosa with 26. Berkman tied with Bonds. Sean Green, we'll see him this weekend. He hits them in spurts. And Andrew Jones and Richie Sexton, 18.
Well, a very impressive showing by Pedro Martinez to begin his outing tonight. Jason Varitek out after the first pitch of the second inning. And from deep short, Davy Cruz disposes of Varitek. 1 down.
Well, you see most infielders charge the ball. Davy Cruz was going back on that one. Took about 2 steps back to the outfield grass to make the catch. Kids, don't try that at home.
Pedro Martinez struck out the side for the 10th time this season. It is the 8th time that it's been a 1-2-3 striking out of a side. Here's Tony Clark, who is in there tonight. Tony bats 6th, plays at first base. Toasts the .213 batting average and really has slumped all season, still trying to come out of it. On the ground, left side. Jimenez to his left. A good throw and plenty of time to get Clark. 2 outs, both ground ball outs here in the second inning.
Nice story on Tony Clark in the local newspaper this morning. Tony, of course, from this area, very popular here, basketball player and college, baseball, of course. And the story is basically about him being a major part of the players' union. And Tony always very optimistic about the way things are going to turn out. We try to be optimistic about it.
I will say one thing about Tony Clark. Even though he has struggled this year, his demeanor has never changed. I'm sure he's not happy about it, but he's been very good every day.
Pretty solid guy.
Yeah. He's been a very good clubhouse leader, as anticipated, coming in this season, among others in this clubhouse. You can see where he may go into a shell the way the season's gone offensively for him, but he has not. Evan Pickford has retired 4 in a row as Nixon watches that low and outside. 1-2. Trotted .244, 7 homers and 27 runs batted in. A home run on Tom Glavine on Sunday. Facing a left-hander. Here again tonight in Kevin Pickford. Getting the spot start tonight for the Padres. Bobby Jones, a former Mets pitcher, not able to make the start tonight. Nixon goes the opposite way. Langford coming on, and he makes the running catch. A 1-2-3 second inning for Kevin Pickford. An inning and a half from San Diego, no score. In part by Citizens Bank, not your typical bank. By New England Ford. Ford is leading the way with the best-selling cars and trucks. Log on to newenglandford.com for details. And by Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light. Cold down easy. Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back in San Diego. Ready for the bottom of the second inning. Ray Langford will lead it off. Takes the breaking ball for ball 1. Langford at .237, 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. Fists at Powell on the ground outside of first. 1-1. Pedro Martinez struck out the side in the first inning. Kotze, Cruz, and Klesko all down by way of the K. 1-1 to Langford. Ahead of him now, 1-2.
A lot of changeups from Pedro in these first couple innings.
Langford played in the first game of the series, was 0 for 4, was not in there last night. Evens up now at 2-2. The Padres left fielder. Struck him out 4 in a row to begin the night for Pedro Martinez. Langford, the newest victim.
Now he's got strikeouts on every one of his pitches. A fastball to Kotze, changeups to Cruz and Klesko, and a curveball here to Langford. Well, the only pitch he doesn't have one on is a cut fastball, but that'll probably come too.
All have been swinging strikeouts so far as Martinez now goes after Bubba Trammell. Slices it foul off the right side.
More life in Pedro's fastball in the early going than we've seen in a couple of starts. Now, almost every one of them have been over 90. As high as 93. And usually that hasn't happened until about the 4th inning.
This is away, 1-1. It's down to the point now where you really don't know which Pedro Martinez is coming.
I give up. You know, I give up. I just take it as it comes now, because for a couple starts I thought he was back. Went backwards a little bit. He admitted he doesn't know what to expect, so how can we know what to expect if he doesn't?
And it appeared in the start in Toronto and in Detroit that obviously did not have his good stuff early and then seemed to settle into those outings. Tonight has come out on fire. 2-1 sliced foul down the right field line. 2-2 now to Bubba Trammell, who's a strike away from being the 5th consecutive victim for Pedro Martinez out of the gate tonight. It's the sign from Varitek and the 2-2. Rushes him back. It's a full count. Varitek sets up outside and strikes him out. 5 Ks for Martinez out of the gate tonight. All swinging Bubba Trammell down this time by way of the K.
And again, it's the fastball elevates, go upstairs with it, and when he's got the good one, you just can't make contact on that pitch. And apparently a little confidence to Pedro in that fastball early to throw that in that area to pick up the strikeout.
D'Angelo Jimenez, the third baseman, down in the count quickly, 0-1. The stride in on the grass at third is Shea Hillenbrand. Jimenez, a .230 hitter, 2 homers, 17 runs batted in. 0-2 to Jimenez.
This crowd getting into it a little bit.
Wow. Martinez gets the sign, the 0-2. Missing up top, 1-2. Kotze, Cruz, Klesko, Langford, Trammell, all striking out so far. 5 in a row. The 1-2. Low and away. 2-2. Pedro in search of his 8th victory, coming in at 7-2. His 15th appearance of 2002. The 2-2. Right back at him and through into center field, a base hit. A lot of the Padres fans coming to their feet as a streak of 5 strikeouts in a row by Pedro Martinez broken up by D'Angelo Jimenez.
First time Jimenez has ever faced Martinez. He gets the changeup and drives it right back up the middle. Pedro goes down to try to make the play. Pedro not the greatest of fielders. Jimenez a threat to steal. He's got 4 on the season, been caught a couple of times.
Let's see if that'll break up the momentum that Pedro has enjoyed here in the early going. Wiki Gonzalez is the hitter. And he takes ball 1. Gonzalez doing the catching tonight. 1 home run on the season. Gonzalez 0 for 2 in the first game of the series. Did not play here last night in the middle game. Away, and it's now 2-0. Gonzalez enjoyed 2 walks on Tuesday. He's posted a .552 on base percentage over the last 7 games. Walks a lot and is ahead here 3-0. Home run this season was off Seattle's Jamie Moyer. 36 games with a fractured left hook hamate bone. He suffered the first week of the season on April 3rd at Arizona. little out of sync after giving up the base hit. Walks Ricky Gonzalez on 4 pitches.
That's tough to do because Ricky Gonzalez has only walked now 16 times this season. He doesn't walk much. He doesn't strike out much. Who was that last pitch anyway? Even Gonzalez thought it was a strike.
He hung out there for a minute, didn't he? Now the Padres with 2 on, 2 outs. Jimenez at second, Gonzalez at first. Julius Matos, the second baseman, number 8 hitter. He just misses off the plate. 273, a home run, 8 runs batted in. Red Sox outfield straight away. Medium depth out there for Julius Matos. Swings and misses, 1-1.
The last pitch in the world, Matos, a young player, expected to see there. The count's 1-0. Pedro comes to the changeup. Way off balance with that swing.
The pitcher, Kevin Pickford, waits on deck. Ball tipped into the catcher's mitt, 1-2.
Little life on that, working out at a stretch. 94 with the fastball.
Jimenez at second, Gonzalez at first with 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. A 1-2 pitch. In the air to center field. Johnny Damon is there and makes the catch to retire the side. The Padres leave a pair. Martinez has struck out 5 through the first 2. Those score at the end of 2.
San Diego will come out to Fenway Park in July and catch the Red Sox. They take on the Toronto Blue Jays July 1st to the 4th, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays July 23rd through the 25th. Remember, Sox fans, it's the year to be here, and now is your chance to be here. For tickets, call 617-482-4SOX or log on to redsox.com.
He's already declined, I believe.
Yes, man, a long time ago.
Far too many skeletons in that closet, my friend.
But hello, Wayman. There's a lot of Red Sox fans out here.
They're everywhere.
Out at the hotel. Went to dinner the other night. A lot of Red Sox fans along the boardwalk.
I imagine there'll be a fair amount in Dodger Stadium as well.
You would think so.
There seems to be when we're in Anaheim. Lou Merloni to lead off the top of the 3rd inning. Kevin Pickford, the spot starters, retired 5 Red Sox in a row. Merloni followed by Pedro Martinez and Ricky Henderson. The scoreless game into the 3rd. Lou in the hole, 0-2.
Padres have a number of players in their organization that they've signed out of independent baseball. 3 on the major league team.
With 385 against lefties. He gets hit this time. Lou's ahead 0-2. Pickford tried to come inside on him and hits him, and Merloni in some pain.
Looked like it got Maloney in the back of the knee. As he tries to turn away from this, you'll see the ball hit the back of that right knee. That's very strange. You don't see guys get hit there very often.
We're trying to run it off down beyond first base. Returns to the bag.
I mentioned 3 guys on this team from independent baseball. Julius Matos, the second baseman. One of those guys, Brian Tolberg, who's a pitcher on the disabled list right now, also out of independent baseball.
Well, it has become a possibility for players who, as Pedro scoring to bunt, 0 for 3 so far as a hitter for the Red Sox. 97 and 258 career at-bats. His time with the Dodgers and Expos in the National League and interleague play as well. Jose Canseco had played independent baseball for a little while. There have been some players at the tail end of their career.
Carlos Baeza.
Yeah. Right out in front of the plate.
Good job.
Nicely done. Pickford throws to first to get Martinez, but he gets the job done. Merloni up to second base with one down.
Good job by Pedro. The only place you didn't want to go there was third base because Jimenez was right down his throat, charging hard. Pedro deadens it out in front of home plate, gets the job done. Nice bunting position for Pedro. Good fundamentals, and he gets it done. It's interesting, you know, the more games that we've played here against National League teams and National League Parks, the more serious Red Sox pitchers have become about this. They realize how important it is. And the first time they go through it, everybody's laughing, they strike out, and, you know, that changes the more games you play.
Here's Ricky Henderson, who struck out in the first inning. Only strikeout so far for Kevin Pickford. And the strike over the outside corner. Of course, Derek Lowe got his first major league hit for the Red Sox on Sunday in Atlanta. Here's Derek Lowe.
Come on, Rick.
Arguably the American League's best pitcher in the first half. And there for the strike, 0-2. Ricky, he didn't like the first one, likes this one even less.
There has not been an at-bat in Henderson's career that at least one pitch he hadn't liked. He hasn't thrown a ball yet to Ricky, has he?
No, I don't think he has. Yeah. And very quick work of him in the first inning. He's ahead 0-2. Ricky is a fan favorite and then some here in San Diego. Walked out to the field earlier and got a big roar from the fans. Lights it off, foul off the right side. During BP, while he was taking batting practice, the fans were cheering as well. It's almost like he's played here his whole career. Well, he played like 2.5 years here for the Padres, but they honored him in the first game of the series. And
well, you know what happened, Don, is he set a lot of his records here as a Padre. You know, last year, 3,000 hits, and getting by Babe Ruth with the walks, and that would all happen here as a Padre.
sends it to center, shallow. Kotsay coming on full bore, will make the catch into the hook slide. Mark Kotsay's made some fine defensive plays in center field, and he robs Ricky Henderson of a base hit.
Now, the tough part about that is that you kind of get frozen in center field. That ball was toward the end of the bat for Henderson. And you see the swing. Now, see, he has to regroup and then start to charge in, and he makes another terrific play. Feet first slide, makes the catch. He's a good player. We don't get to see him a lot, but I remember when he was with the Marlins, and he's grown up a lot since that time. But what is this going on over here?
It's hang a star, Jerry Coleman. This is on the ground off the bat of Damon, backhanded by Klesko. I'll tell you about it next inning. Ronnie Damon is gone, so are the Red Sox. We're through 2.5 from San Diego, no score.
Ball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. By Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. And by your New England Chrysler dealers, Chrysler, drive equals love. On to the bottom of the third inning. Red Sox unable to score. They have left runners in scoring position. A runner at third in the first, a runner at second in the third. Big swing and a miss from the Padres pitcher, Kevin Pickford, who bats.
I've noticed, Don, against the pitches, Johnny Damon still plays pretty much straight away. Most of the National League outfields really shade the pitches to the opposite field.
Slice fouled off the left side, 0-2.
Henderson comes in very shallow in left field, the opposite side. But look where Damon is. Usually you see the center fielder out in this area here. Well, it's illustrator's not working right now. So anyway, they're shaded more toward the opposite field.
Strike three. Strikeout number 6 for Martinez. He opens up the third with a K of Kevin Pickford.
Didn't take very long for Pedro to get rid of the pitcher. Fastball for strike 3.
He's been through the order one time. He has struck out 6 of the 9 batters he's faced. Second time through, Mark Kotsay swinging, sends it through the left side. Garcia Parra was swung over towards the bag at second. It's out of his reach and into left. The second hit of the night for the Padres.
not uncommon when you strike out in your first at bat. A lot of times in that second at bat, you'll jump on the first pitch. And, you know, he's watched 6 guys strike out for the first 2 innings. He's going up hacking. That's the cut fastball that stayed out over the plate. And Katse to the opposite field for the base hit.
Here's Davy Cruz, who struck out swinging in the first inning. Pedro works from the stretch. Long look at first. This is popped up into right center field shallow. Damon coming in, and he'll make the catch. 2 down.
Once again, swinging at the first pitch. I would be very surprised if Bochy doesn't have guys trying to steal, play hit and run. You can't sit around and expect to get a big inning against Pedro when he's throwing good, and it looks like he's throwing good tonight. You got to try some things.
Rays coming into tonight's action at 31-40, 12.5 games off the pace and behind Arizona. Ryan Klesko struck out swinging in the first inning. Tony Clark holding on Mark Kotze at first as this is cranked foul down the right field line. I guess it is fairly clear they're going up there and hacking at the first pitch. Are going to be very aggressive.
It's just in the beast, you know. I mean, you don't like the strikeout. And there you see the most home runs against Pedro. Klesko with the most. Tony Batista, Caminetti, Piazza, and Bernie Williams.
Chop left side. Hillenbrand even with the bag. Quick pop and a good throw to retire Klesko. Now the Padres leave a man. We've played 3 full from San Diego. No score. Padres for the first 3 innings. 6 strikeouts. Given up 2 hits and walked just 1. Appears to have the pinpoint control and a lively fastball tonight for Pedro Martinez. Nomar chops it to third. Jimenez with the throw that gets Nomar by half a stride.
Jimenez in this series has been so-so down there at third base, but makes a pretty good play here. Waits for that big high hop and gets rid of the ball quickly to get Garcia Parra at first base. He has not showed a lot of range down there at third.
Coming up through the Yankee system, a highly touted prospect, a shortstop at the time. I wonder how much third base has really played in his career.
No, it's interesting. Sean Burrows, who's on the disabled list, they've been working him out at second base as he gets closer to coming off the DL.
Brand bounced to second base his first time. You were asking about what was going on next to us in the booth next door. The radio booth, of course, the Hall of Fame broadcaster Jerry Coleman is over there. One of his most famous sayings is hang a star on that play. As this is grounded off the first baseman into right, off the glove of Klesko. He may be hurt as that finds its way into right field, awkwardly coming down on the glove in the hand.
Might have rolled the wrist over as he went into that dive to try to knock that ball down. By the way, Klesko today celebrating a extension to his contract. Second time that he has signed an extension here to stay with the Padres.
Agreed to terms on a 2-year deal. It'll take him through 2006. You mentioned there was an extension prior to this one. He's coming over from the Braves, part of a 6-player deal.
Klesko dives to try to knock this ball down, and apparently when he landed on his wrist, he's turned it over, and that's what they're paying attention to right now.
Well, we have a moment as they check on Klesko. Let's take a look at the Aflac trivia question. What 3 men have managed both the Red Sox and the Padres? We'll have the answer for you in the next half inning. Klesko's going to stay in the game, it appears. Anyway, we were talking about Jerry Coleman a moment ago, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Padres. One of his sayings is you can hang a star on that play, and when Kotze made the running catch coming in from center field, they've got a big gold star that they sling out of his booth. So when he says it, you can hang a star on that play. And there is his retired star out there in his sink. They swing this big gold star outside the booth. And the producer to his left is the guy that does that. That's part of his job. Not only going to produce the game, but you're going to swing the big gold star whenever I say they can hang a star on that one.
That's what you call having people.
That's having people. I'm thinking about having my guy at home there, Justin. When I say down by way of the K, maybe swing a big K out of the booth. What do you think? No, huh?
Yeah, you might want to wait. Like Jerry's been here 30 years.
You don't think year 2 is?
I'd hold off a while on that.
Okay. Grounded out to shortstop his first time. Lines this to center field. Kotze started back, now over, and makes the catch. Red Sox have been using center field quite a bit in this game tonight, and Mark Kotze has been up to the task in center, 2 down.
Well, you got to give some credit here to Pickford. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job. A guy they took out of the bullpen to make a spot start here. Red Sox have hit some balls hard, but right at people. Bobby Jones unable to make the stop with a tender elbow. And sometimes when this happens, you don't get a chance to get nervous and you pitch a better game. You don't expect to pitch in the ball game until you get to the ballpark and they tell you.
Don't think, just throw.
Yep.
So 42 pitches so far tonight as he now deals with Tony Clark. Grounded out to third base in the second inning. And away to Clark. We got a big sign out here on the scoreboard. And Tony Clark's base is up on the board. Scored 43.7 points per game his senior year at Christian High School, leading the state of California as a high school player here in San Diego. All 6'7" of Tony Clark. Red Sox have some pretty good basketball players on this team between Tony Clark and Derek Lowe. I'd like to see that one-on-one matchup.
Usually the big guys like that, they like to shoot 3-pointers. You know, like in those pickup games, they never get a rebound. They're always outside the line.
This is sent to center field. Kotze waiting for it to come on down. He takes care of it. Red Sox leave a man for the 3rd time in 4 innings. We've played 3.5. No score from San Diego.
Now that you can get started with Verizon Online DSL for only $29.95.
Don Orsillo and Jerry Remy back at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego as we get ready for the bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox and Padres wrapping up their 3-game series here tonight. Both clubs have taken a game in this series. The Red Sox have received spectacular pitching so far tonight from Pedro. Struck out the first 5 to open up his outing tonight, and then mixed in another strikeout last inning in the 3rd. So 6 Ks over the first 3 innings for Martinez. He has given up 2 hits. Ray Lankford, a strikeout victim in the 2nd, leads it off for the Padres. And like a lot of the Padres' 2nd time through, swings at the very first pitch.
Pedro recognizes that, and he goes to the changeup on the first pitch.
How about 11 Ks for Ray Lankford in 20 at-bats against Pedro Martinez? And that includes the strikeout his first time. Pulled him on that pitch. 1-2. Ray Lankford will be followed by Bubba Trammell, D'Angelo Jimenez, 4, 5, and 6 batting for the Padres in the 4th. On the ground towards Merlone, who takes care of Ray Lankford for the first out in the 4th inning. Well, Pedro Martinez, his number is very good. 3 1/3, no runs, 2 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Pickford, the spot starter's number is very good. Damon with a single, a stolen base, and Jay Hillenbrand has a single. Both clubs with 2 hits. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bubba Trammell struck out his first time. Big strike 1 from Pedro. Bubba Trammell spending time with the Tigers and the Mets. Get away from Pedro, 1-1. Also at Tampa Bay, as well as the Mets and Tigers before coming to San Diego. First came up with the Detroit Tigers in the majors in 1997. Was created by the Mets. Right-handed pitcher Johnny Wall back in 2000. 2-2. Now to Bubba Trammell. Sure, it was his first year in San Diego. He finished up the year 261 in 142 games and had 25 home runs. Pretty good year for the Padres. 92 RBIs. He strikes out. 7th K for Martinez. 2 down in the 4th inning.
They really had Trammell all messed up in that at bat. When Trammell thought he was going to get a fastball, he got a changeup. When he thought he was going to get something off speed, he gets a 93-mile-an-hour fastball for the strikeout.
That the bat was like a man playing with a child. You know, big leaguer against little leaguer.
Any other analogies you like to throw in there besides the first?
Oh, it
2?
just struck me as a major leaguer, you know, working against a little leaguer. That's how messed up Pedro had Bubba Trammell in that particular at bat.
A big mountain and a little mountain. Strike to Jimenez in the hole, 0-2.
Like the big roller coaster against the kiddie roller coaster.
A bus and a Volkswagen.
I stay away from names. You never know who sponsors are.
0-2 to Jimenez. This is inside. Tech wanted to appeal. 1-2 now to Jimenez. 7 strikeouts for Pedro Martinez so far through 3 2/3. Grounded right side. Merloni ranging over on the first to Tony Clark. It's a 1-2-3 4th inning for Pedro. We played 4 innings from San Diego, no score. Pedro Martinez with 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings has given up 2 hits. And again, a glimpse of the Pedro of old. Martinez so far against the Padres has been outstanding as we move to the top of the 5th inning. Bottom 3rd of the Red Sox order. We'll see Pedro bat 3rd in this inning. Nixon and Merloni before we get to Pedro Martinez. Nixon lined out to the left fielder Ray Lankford his first time. Framed by Gonzalez. 1-1 to Nixon. Kevin Pickford has been very good in the spot start tonight. He's given up just 2 hits in the first 4 innings. He's hit a batter. Red Sox have had 3 base runners. Not walked anyone as of yet as he works into the 5th. Nixon strikes out. 2nd K for Kevin Pickford, and is quickly 1 away in the 5th inning. And now for the answer to our Aflac trivia question. What 3 men have managed both the Red Sox and the Padres? Ed Zimmer, John McNamara, and Dick Williams have all done that out here in San Diego as well as in Boston. Did you know that? What a surprise.
No, I knew about John McNamara. The other 2 guys I played for. John Zimmer and Dick Williams. And the year McNamara managed the Red Sox, that was the year that we mutually decided that my knee had had enough. So I never really did play in the McNamara.
Over to have been what, spring of '86?
Yes.
So had your knee not been a problem, you very well could have been in the World Series that year.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they waited till I left and they got this.
On the ground off the bat of Merlone, Jimenez goes a little wildly, but Klesko able to make the long stretch, bending to the home plate side of first. 2 down.
Pickford's made a couple of starts this year, as we mentioned, one against Baltimore back in May, and on June 11th against, excuse me, that one was against Baltimore, went 3 2/3 innings in that game. The other one was against Milwaukee earlier in the season.
He's only thrown 52 pitches through 4 2/3 innings. And nobody's warming in the pen as he deals with a Red Sox pitcher, Pedro Martinez. Sacrifice bunt his first time.
Remember we talked about Damon, how he plays the pitcher straight up. Well, see where the National League guys are. They're way pushed over toward the opposite field. They pretty much play that way against all pitches.
And shallow.
Yep.
It appears. Martinez 0 for 3 as a hitter this year. And unbelievably here ahead 3-0. Pickford's been very good, but he's fallen behind the Red Sox pitcher 3-0.
I doubt that Pedro will have the green light 3-0. Just the feeling I have.
Really threw yourself out there on a limb. 3-1. Pedro Martinez, big surprise. First walk of the night for Kevin Pickford is Martinez. Pedro will make his way down to first base.
That doesn't make Bochy very happy, walking an American League pitcher especially.
Ricky Henderson makes his way to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out in the first, fly to center in the 3rd inning.
Look at Petey over there stretching out like he's gonna swipe second.
They elect not to hold on. Pedro Martinez
Takes his batting gloves off.
Ricky slices it foul off the right side. It's all business over there at first base.
Yeah, Pedro's done this a lot in the past, obviously, coming from the National League. He took his share of knockdown pitches and getting drilled in the National League. Retaliation for some of the things that he did.
And he did some things when he was in the National League. You got to give him credit in that regard. And there are certainly those who feel that a lot of the American League pitchers hide behind the fact that they don't hit, and some do. Henderson will have to wait. Here's was a graphic over the weekend with that whole Clemens bit that Fox had on about headhunters in the game, and Pedro found his name on that list of headhunters. He saw it in the clubhouse. One. This is, and it's now 2-1.
Felipe Alou always stood up for Pedro when he was with the Expos, because look, he was a young guy who threw hard and wanted to throw inside but didn't master that art. And of course, a lot of times he drilled guys, and most of them were not intentional, but he got accused of being a headhunter over there.
And his reputation preceded him coming over to the American League. Henderson singles into center field. Pedro Martinez up 90 feet to second. On the single for Ricky Henderson in the 3rd Boston hit of the night.
Well, Pedro keeps the inning alive with the walk, and then Henderson with the line drive for the base hit. So you can see the problems, obviously walking the number 9 man, the pitcher in the lineup. Red Sox now with a chance to score a run.
Greg Booker, the pitching coach, making his first appearance of the night to the mound. Boston has had a base runner in every inning but the 2nd inning. And they've left 3 on through the first 4 innings. And a chance here with Henderson at first, Martinez at second, 2 down. I like how the bullpens are on opposite sides from the dugouts. Generally, you have the bullpen on the same side as your dugout, but not here at San Diego. It's on the opposite side of the field.
That's because you can't see your if your bullpen was down the third base line from the third base dugout, you can't see it. So that's why they use opposite bullpens. So from your dugout, you can see your guys down in the bullpen. See the way the stadium is set up there and how deep the dugout is, that you can't see down in that corner.
The Red Sox are on the third base side there, and their dugout is down the right field line, or their bullpen, I should say, is down the right field line in the corner. And really, the bullpens here are very much an afterthought. They are tucked in, kitty cornered, down there in the corner. Kind of like they forgot about it when, whoops, we need a bullpen, and stuck him down the right and left field line. Johnny Damon with 2 on and 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Takes strike 1. 328 for Johnny, 5 homers, 32 runs batted in, 1 for 2 with a stolen base tonight. In the air to right field, Bubba Trammell on the run's not going to get there. Pedro Martinez, who's done it all in this one, will come around and score. Henderson will be sent around. It's a 2-run triple for Johnny Damon, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Triple number 5 for Damon, and this one on the line. There was no way Trammell was going to catch up to this. And again, you got to go back to the pitcher. 2 outs in the inning, walking Pedro Martinez to keep this alive. And the Red Sox eventually will score 2 runs. Pedro crosses the plate. Now watch him. He's going to tell him to stand up. He knows what to do. He's telling Henderson not to slide.
Here's Nomar 0 for 2. He's flied deeply to center field and is grounded out to third base. 90 feet away is Johnny Damon. All of this coming with 2 outs, and Nomar 441 average with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And ahead in the count, 2-0. The eyes 33-34 for Johnny Damon. Strike over the inside corner. So Pickford got the first 2 outs of the inning and walks Pedro Martinez. And a single by Henderson, a triple by Johnny Damon to drive in 2. Now the 2-1 to Nomar. 3-1 to Nomar with Shea Hillenbrand waiting on deck. And for the first time, there's action in the Padres pen. Rodney Myers, a right-hander. Missed up top. Second walk of the inning, second walk of the outing, relinquished by Kevin Pickford.
He was just breezing right along, and the walk to Pedro just took the life out of him. And they want the catcher to go out and talk to him, get more throws from Myers down in the bullpen. He may be ready to make the switch now.
So 68 pitches in his spot start tonight for the Padres. Exactly what he was doing. He's buying some time. Bochy will come out.
He's going to make a double switch, it looks like.
Now the pitcher was scheduled to bat third in this next inning, so they will switch that around, and they will have a change here defensively. They'll have
Eugene Kingsale is going to go into looks like left field.
It's from Aruba
In Langford's spot.
Oh, a double switch from San Diego with the Red Sox now on top 2-0, still in the midst of the top of the 5th inning. Back in San Diego, the Red Sox have pushed across 2 so far in the top of the 5th inning. Padres have made a double switch. Ray Langford out of the game. Eugene Kingsale takes over in left field for San Diego, and they have changed up pitchers. Kevin Pickford gone after 4 2/3. Rodney Myers on from the pen.
7th appearance of the season for Myers. He was called up on May 31st from AAA Portland. That's when Phil Nevin was put on the 15-day disable list. He did appear in 40 games a year ago for the Padres. Actually, that was in the year 2000. Signed a minor league deal with him last March. So you've got the pitcher now hitting in the cleanup spot, and Kingsale hitting in the 9 spot with the double switch.
So here is the Red Sox cleanup hitter tonight for the first time on the season. Shea Hillenbrand, 1 for 2, singled to right in the 4th. 1 of 4 Boston hits. Myers surveys the situation and finds Johnny Damon at 3rd, Nomar Garciaparra at 1st. 2 outs in the inning. And a first pitch strike to Shea Hillenbrand. Down and in at 93 miles per hour. Rodney Myers. Kevin Pickford's book is, of course, not yet closed, responsible for Damon and Garciaparra. He was very good through the first 4 2/3 innings, but he was run into some 2-out trouble here in the 5th inning. A walk, a single, a triple, and another walk, spelling the end of his night. Brand 1 for 2 tonight as he bats for the 3rd time. Myers bluffs to 3rd, bluffs to 1st, but does not throw to either venue.
It's a good time to try that because 2 strikes, 2 outs, always the possibility of the double steal.
Is grounded down the 3rd baseline just outside the bag at 3rd, foul. Rodney Myers comes on from the San Diego bullpen here in the 5th inning for the starter Kevin Pickford. Trying to preserve what now is a 2-run deficit for the Padres. The 1-2 inside evens up at 2-2. Yankees losing today in Colorado, where there was no shortage of runs in that series between the Rockies and the Yankees. 20-10 last night. And the Red Sox with a full game lead atop the American League East heading into this West Coast action. Nomar takes off, and Hillenbrand strikes out lunging to retire the side. So Myers strikes out Hillenbrand, but the Red Sox score 2 halfway through this one. 2-0 Boston.
Two 2-0 Red Sox as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Celebrate the 90th anniversary of Fenway Park by taking a behind-the-scenes tour. Visit the press box, sit in the dugout, and measure yourself against the Green Monster. The scheduled groups of 15 or greater. Call 617-236-6666 or log on to RedSox.com for more information. That's a typical drive to the ballpark. That's quite a ways from Vermont. 18 days and 23 states to get to San Diego to watch this game against the Pods. Bring back Manny. Well, I think everybody would like to have Manny back soon.
Manny was 0 for 3 tonight as part of a 5-0 Paw Sox loss against the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons. So Manny 3 for 23 since joining the Pawtucket Red Sox. And it sounds as if, by all accounts, that Manny will be a member of the Pawtucket Red Sox over the weekend as they host the Charlotte Knights. Top farmhand for the Chicago White Sox, and it appears the next time we'll see Manny Ramirez will be in the first game of the Cleveland series on the homestand back at Fenway Park. Wiki Gonzalez with a big cut, down 1-2.
Well, Grady didn't completely rule out L.A. over the weekend, but didn't seem that encouraged by it either. So didn't he say something about Jeff Wallace possibly being in San Diego? Excuse me, L.A. over the weekend?
I didn't hear that. I heard it. I know Jeff Wallace's rehab is up, and the left-hander has pitched extremely well down in Pawtucket, and they do need to make a decision. I think what he said was he's going to have a decision tomorrow morning on him, unless you have other information. He had a decision that they were going to make. Someone had asked him before the game about Jeff Wallace because his rehab is over, and he said, yeah, we're going to make a decision on him tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
Maybe Jerry Remy knows more than we thought as he strikes out Wiki Gonzalez. 8 Ks for Pedro now, 1 down in the 5th.
Gonzalez going back, shaking his head. A changeup from Pedro to get the strikeout. That's only the 13th time that Wiki has struck out this season. Last year, he was considered one of the best backup catchers, maybe the best backup catcher in all of baseball. This year, getting much more playing time.
Julius Matos sends it down the right field line. Nixon moving over towards the corner, but that'll end up back in the seats.
By the way, we apologize for that big X that came across the screen from the telestrator. They're doing some work on it up here in the booth, and accidentally they were testing it, and they made an X that went across the screen.
It works. I think you didn't draw anything else.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay.
It was the professional testing.
For the strike, 0-2 to Julius Matos. Lined out to center field his first time up. Pedro with 8 Ks in his outing. This is juice down the left field line. Bending, foul. Down towards the Padres bullpen.
Yeah, Matos has had a couple of pretty good at-bats against Pedro. Hit a line drive to center field in his first at-bat, but it was right at Johnny Damon. Hit that ball hard, but in foul territory down the left field line.
Starts with the Padres at .320 batting average for Matos, their second baseman. Pedro strikes him out. 9 Ks for Pedro Martinez. 2 outs in the 5th inning, and now 7 in a row retired by Pedro.
Well, Pedro saw him hit the curveball pretty good, so he says, well, let's see if you can hit this fastball. And no, he can't. That ball up and away and by him for the strikeout. Big strikeout night for Pedro.
Here's Eugene Kingsale, Maruba. Takes ball 1. Kingsale part of the double switch that took place in the top half of this inning. Took over in left field for Ray Langford, and now bats in the number 9 spot. And the strike makes it 1-1. Martinez with 9 strikeouts over the first 4 2/3 innings. Nasty breaking ball misses. 2-1. Martinez has given up 2 hits. Mark Kotze and D'Angelo Jimenez with the only hits given up by Pedro tonight. Just 1 walk. 2-2 to Kingsale.
See the reaction by Kingsale there. He thought that was a fastball, but it was the cut fastball. And right at the last minute, that ball breaks hard in on the hands of the lefty.
Martinez with the 2-2. Hey, struck him out looking. Pedro jumps into double figures in terms of strikeouts. That's number 10. And the second time tonight he struck out the side in order. Through 5. 2-0 Boston.
Back in San Diego, the Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. Let's take a look at the franchise stolen base leaders. Now we know the Red Sox, Harry Hooper, Chris Speaker, and Yaz. The Padres, Tony Gwynn with 319, Gene Richards, who played from 77 to 83, and Alan Wiggins with 171.
Pedro Martinez with 10 strikeouts tonight. He struck out the side last inning for the second time tonight in order. Did it back in the first inning and does it again in the fifth. 10 Ks. Through 5, he's given up just 2 hits, walked 1, and has a 2-0 advantage as the Red Sox bat in their half of the 6th inning. Veritek, Clark, and Nixon to face Rodney Myers, the right-handed reliever who came on last inning. Mounted right side. Julius Matos from the outfield grass throws out Veritek.
Pedro with the 10 strikeouts. The season high is 12. He did that against the Seattle Mariners. So an excellent chance to top that tonight. And this is not an easy team to strike out. They're about 5th toughest in the National League. And the reason for that is they don't wait around very long.
They've been up there taking their cuts. As Tony Clark's 0-2 is grounded out, fly to center field. It foul back and below us. The Sox get ready for their 3-game weekend series at Dodger Stadium against the LA Dodgers beginning tomorrow night. The Sox will have John Burkett go in the first game of that series. He'll be matched up against old friend and Red Sox pitcher to throw a no-hitter last year. Hideo Nomo gets the start tomorrow night for the Dodgers. Burkett and Nomo head-to-head at Dodger Stadium. Fox 25 will have that game. Eric Lowe and Omar Dahl on Saturday. Rolando Arrojo and Andy Ashby on Sunday. We'll join you on NESN on Sunday, but our partner will be working all 3 over the weekend at Dodger Stadium. As Fox National has the game on Saturday.
Looking forward to seeing Dodger Stadium. It's been a long time since I've been there.
Clark strikes out. Second K for Rodney Myers, who has retired all 3 Red Sox hitters that he's faced since coming on. 2 down.
Rodney Myers turns over that fastball down and away from Tony Clark. Chavez Ravine, always in immaculate condition.
Yeah. A few times as a fan, looking forward to getting back there for the final game of the series on Sunday as Nixon takes the strike. It'll be good to see your old friend Tommy Lasorda over the weekend.
Glenn Hoffman, third base coach, former teammate of mine. There's quite a few American leaguers over there. Paul Quantrill is now in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Eric Lowe getting the start on Saturday.
It's one of their new acquisitions, and Omar Dahl to the Dodgers this year. Check swing grounder softly hit towards Matos. Charging, throwing. Nixon's gone. So are the Red Sox in the top of the 6th inning. They go in order. On to the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 Boston. Corona. Relax and enjoy an ice cold Corona Extra. And by your New England Jeep dealer. Jeep, there's only one. Look at another very good crowd here tonight in San Diego. This is a very big facility. Of course, also the home of the San Diego Chargers. As the Red Sox take their 2-0 lead into the bottom of the 6th inning. The top of the San Diego order, Mark Kotsay, 1 for 2 tonight. He has one of only 2 hits off Pedro Martinez.
This looks to be the biggest crowd of the series tonight.
Pedro going tonight. A lot of Red Sox fans here tonight. This is in the air to shallow center. Out goes Nomar. In comes Damon. Johnny calls off Nomar and takes care of it for the first out of the bottom of the 6th inning.
Number 8, Davey Cruz.
Look at that crowd tonight. I have to agree with you. I think there are more people here tonight.
It seems like in the outfield especially, that's all filled up.
Pole to pole in that first section out there. Davey Cruz taking strike 1 from Pedro. Pedro has struck out everybody in the order with the exception of D'Angelo Jimenez, the Padres' third baseman. He has struck out 10 through the first 5 1/3 innings. Padres going down in the first and 5th inning. Side retired, all striking out in order. Chopped high to third. Hillenbrand had the elevated tag, makes the good. Hard sidearm toss to get Cruz 2 down.
Well, we mentioned all series how hard this infield is in here in San Diego. That was almost like an AstroTurf bounce. But not hit high enough to get over the head of Hillenbrand. He goes back a couple of steps and has plenty of time to throw Davy Cruz out at first base. A couple of good years in Detroit for Cruz. He had a lot of favor last year and now finds himself here in San Diego as their starting shortstop.
There were a few of those guys that fell out of favor with Phil Garner last year.
Yeah, and then the organization fell out of favor with Phil Garner.
They went Roger Cedeno, among others.
Yeah. Yep.
Fights and stuff. And
yeah, he wasn't even playing toward the end of the year.
They gave him off like the last month and a half, as I recall. Ryan Klesko, 0 for 2, has struck out, grounded out to third base. Earlier, Klesko signing a new 2-year extension. Keeps him here through 2006. Not going to be around long in this inning, though. Retired 4-3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Pedro Martinez. Through 6 from San Diego. Boston on top 2-0.
Two nothing as we go to the top of the 7th. The Red Sox leading the Padres, or the Friars, or the Pods, as they like to call themselves. Don't miss the Paw Sox baseball card set night on Thursday, June 27th at McCoy Stadium. All fans will receive a collector's edition baseball card set featuring the Paw Sox team compliments of Nesson and Dunkin' Donuts. For tickets, call 401-724-7300 or visit pawsox.com.
7th inning back in San Diego. Lou Merlone will lead it off. Lou's been hit by a pitch and has grounded out to third base. Rodney Myers, who came on in the 5th, back out there for the 7th inning. He has retired all 4 Red Sox that he has faced and is expected to lead off in the 7th inning, so he will probably leave the game after this inning. And the pinch hitter, Merlone, turns on this, lifting it deep to left, back, and it is caught at the wall. Eugene Kingsale on the run, makes the catch, and then bangs into the wall.
Oh, what a play by Kingsale out there in left field. That looked to be sure double as they hang the star again out of the radio booth. Maloney really turned that inside fastball around, but Kingsale making the catch, crashing into the wall, closing up the glove before it knocks out. Beautiful play. Didn't even have to jump for that. He's pretty tall.
Well, he went face first into that wall out there. Oh, this one sent to the backstop.
Well, this is interesting. I mean, there's absolutely no reason in the world for that. Pedro's up. There's been nothing close to any hitter on the San Diego Padres tonight. I'm going to just say the ball slipped out of his hand.
It's now 2-0. Pedro walked his last time up. Really the undoing of Kevin Pickford, who started tonight for the Padres. Pedro swings away and sends one towards right center field. And Kotze will run it down. Pedro gave it a ride with the outfield playing very shallow, and it sent Kotze back into his left into right center to make the catch.
Pedro, when he connected, watch him look at this like it's out of here. Not quite deep enough, though, Petey.
He didn't quite go into the Ricky Trot.
No. Just missed it.
Speaking of Ricky, Henderson will be next. Ricky 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the 5th, came around to score the 2nd Boston run. Myers has retired all 6 Red Sox that he's faced so far. Very good out of the bullpen for the Padres. His 23rd pitch. This is inside, 1-1. Henderson out of the box, up and in.
What a hard-running fastball does Myers, one that runs in hard on those right-handers. Again, that pitch to Pedro to me was a slip. There's absolutely no reason at all. No member of the Padres has got their back dirty tonight.
In the dirt outside, 3-1. The Sox trying to take 2 out of 3 from San Diego after dropping 2 out of 3 to the Atlanta Braves to begin this trip. The Sox won the first game of the series and lost last night. On top, 2-0 in the top of the 7th inning tonight. Ricky swats at it foul down the third base line. Well, this is the year to be here if you're Red Sox fans, but here in San Diego, it's our team, our town, which is written in foul ground both on the first base side and third base side. Our team, our town. We've got great crowds in here for the series against the Red Sox. Anderson sends it in the air down the right field line, back and out of play.
I'll say this for this San Diego crowd. They get here early in the afternoon. And there's a lot of them sitting out in the parking lot. It's almost like a little bit of a football atmosphere.
Kind of like Oakland.
Yeah.
Fans out there tailgating as we're coming in. And
yeah, the same couples greeted us all 3 days coming in. As soon as we come in the gate, they're out there tailgating, older couple, and they wave, and very nice, very polite.
Anderson walks. Myers had retired 6 Red Sox in a row prior to giving up that walk. It's the 3rd walk of the night, surrendered by Padres pitching.
Ricky with 5 steals on the season. He's been caught 1 time. It wouldn't be a bad time to try one right now. 2-run lead, 2 outs in the inning. And I'm sure he will. If he feels he can get a jump on Myers, he'll take off.
Johnny Damon 2 for 3 with 2 runs driven in. That one got away from Myers. Ricky Gonzalez out to talk to Myers at the mound. Padres get some stirring in their bullpen. Looks like they may be getting somebody up. The Red Sox pen has been quiet all night tonight as Pedro has been fantastic so far. It looks as if the Padres will have a right-hander begin to warm in their pen. A.J. Trujillo warming in the bullpen. 2-0 now to Johnny Damon. The Sox getting their 2 runs tonight in the 5th inning. Damon with a triple to drive him in. Henderson bluffed at first, didn't go, and Damon now ahead 3-0. Garcia-Parra waits on deck as Myers gets a new ball, rubs it up. And a check on Ricky. That almost handcuffed Fusco. Didn't look like you got a real good look at that. Anderson bluffed on the last pitch as he widens his lead. Doesn't go anywhere, and Damon takes a strike. On the stretch, Myers leans in and brings it 3-1. That will get away. And Henderson will move up to second base.
Looked like it hit the umpire right off the face mask.
Back-to-back walks now for Rodney Myers.
I don't believe Ricky Gonzalez got any leather on this, and it looks like it hit the umpire. Yes, it did.
And Bochy coming out again, and it looks like again to make a double switch.
A.J. Trujillo's been warming in the bullpen. He's going to get a couple of extra tosses in while Bochy makes the double switch.
Kevin Barker is coming out. And Klesko will be coming out of the ball game. So Barker, remember Klesko got hurt earlier in this ball game, rolling over the wrist, so maybe taking the opportunity to take him out in the double switch. Barker will go in the first base, and Trujillo will come in to pitch.
So the Red Sox still batting in the top of the 7th on top 2-0.
Bounce right to Sanchez. On the first, a no-hitter for Derek Lowe.
It's the year to be here. Were you? To get here, call 617-4824-SOX or log on to redsox.com.
2-0. Red Sox have the lead here in the top of the 7th. Well, Sox fans over 30, here's your chance to make it to the big leagues. Spend a week at Red Sox Spring Training Complex in Fort Myers, Florida. Receive an instruction in playing games with ex-Sox players. The all-inclusive price includes travel, hotel, meals, uniform, and a chance to play at Fenway this September and again in 2003. Call 1-800-336-CAMP for more information.
Kevin Barker takes over at first base for Ryan Klesko. He'll now be batting in the number 4 spot. The pitcher spot will be the number 3 hitter, as the new pitcher is J.J. Trujillo.
4th appearance since being called up from the minor leagues. That was on June 11th. He made his major league debut against the Baltimore Orioles. Tony Batista hit a home run off him. The first batter that he faced, another guy that was signed out of independent baseball. Pitched in 30 games at Double-A. Was it Mobile or Mobile? Mobile. Going Mobile, I think that was a Who song. Mobile's in Alabama.
Out of Dallas Baptist University. 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, 26 years old. J.J. Trujillo. Omar lines it to left. Kingsale going back. He won't get there. Scoring from second is Henderson. Damon will be stopped at third. It is a double for Nomar. The Red Sox lead at 3-0.
Nomar is amazing. I mean, here's a guy that he's never seen in his life, Trujillo. He's got a very unique delivery. Sidearm, almost underhand pitch. And again, Nomar swinging at the first pitch and rifles it over the head of Kingsale out there in left field. So 2 big RBIs in the game for Damon, and another one here by Nomar, and all this damage for the Red Sox coming after walks with a couple outs.
Nomar the leader in doubles with 26. Garrett Anderson and Tim Salmon of Anaheim in behind him. Hillenbrand 1 for 3 tonight. He singled to right in the 4th inning. Chance to open things up here for the Red Sox now on top 3-0. 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. Ball 1 to Shea Hillenbrand. The run is charged to Rodney Myers, who is still responsible for Johnny Damon, who's at third. Kevin Pickford gave up the first 2 runs to the Red Sox, so the starter for the Padres on the hook right now. In the air to left field, Eugene Kingsale waits for it to come down and makes the catch to retire the side. Red Sox pick up another run. 7th inning stretch time from San Diego. Austin on top, 3-0.
Seventh inning stretch. The Red Sox have a 3-0 lead. Stay tuned to Nesson on Saturday for a look at life on the farm Red Sox style. Saturday night, Nesson cameras head to Pawtucket for Fort Sox baseball action. It's the Pawtucket Red Sox and the Charlotte Knights at McCoy Stadium. Minor league baseball, major league action coverage begins at 6 right here on Nesson.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Pedro Martinez has struck out 10 through the first 6 innings. Kevin Barker, who came on as part of the double switch in the top half of the 7th inning, leads it off. Barker's numbers from AAA Portland, 257 with 5 homers. Pedro Martinez with his 10 strikeout performance tonight, his 83rd career 10K game. On the ground towards Merlone, who takes the big high hop and throws out Kevin Barker, one down. Pedro has now retired 12 Padres in a row. This Padre to reach was in the third inning. Mark Kotsay with a single. And since then, Pedro shut everybody down. One out in the seventh inning. He's given up just 2 hits the entire game. Bubba Trammell's done the same thing twice, and that's strikeout as he takes strike 1 from Martinez. It is the 5th time this season that Pedro has had a 10K game. 6th all time. Nolan Ryan is first with 215. That's unbelievable. There's a strike.
Well, who do you like in the soccer game tonight?
USA.
Really?
Well, they're kind of a long shot from what it sounds like, but they seem to have that New England Patriots momentum going. We're going to stay up till 4:30 in the morning, West Coast time, to watch it.
Well, I made to see Oliver Kahn, the German goalkeeper. He is the best in the world.
Dominic Hasek of soccer. 2 down. Trammell grounds out to second base, and Merlone has handled the first 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
Miroslav Klose, of course, one of the top strikers in the world, will be working against the USA tonight.
How about you dropping the term striker? Like,
you don't think I follow this stuff?
D'Angelo Jimenez is 1 for 2 tonight. You a big soccer guy too? Hockey, soccer.
I've become a big fan of Brad Friedel, the goalie for the USA. It's going to be a good one. Should be a good one. What time does that start? 4 o'clock out here?
4:30.
That's perfect.
Yeah. You'll just be getting in from your run. The 0-2. Jimenez takes it. 1-2. Jimenez is the only member of the starting 9 tonight for the Padres who has not yet struck out against Pedro Martinez. Pedro's ahead of him 1-2. Jimenez has 1 of the 2 hits, and he's grounded out to second base. Pedro would like to add him to his strikeout collection tonight. A 1-2 on the ground by the mound towards Nomar. The sidearm toss there, and plenty of time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Pedro. This time it's the 7th inning. We played 7 from San Diego, 3-0 Boston. Back in San Diego, Red Sox on top 3-0. All fans entering Fenway Park to watch the Red Sox take on the Cleveland Indians on Thursday, June 27th. Will receive a Red Sox travel umbrella, compliments of Delta Airlines. A limited amount of single tickets are still available for that game. Jason Varitek to lead it off as we head to the top of the 8th inning. J.J. Trujillo back out on the mound for the Padres. Varitek 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out twice and lined out. One and one to Varitek. Billy starting last night's game. Varitek in there tonight. Swats it foul off the left side. 1-2 to Varitek. Will be followed by Tony Clark and Trot Nixon. The Red Sox on top 3-0 in the top of the 8th inning. This is away, and it's 2-2 now to Varitek. Trujillo, the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Padres. Kevin Pickford, who's on the hook. Worked the first 4 2/3, giving up 2 runs. Rodney Myers worked 2 innings, giving up a run. Full count now to Varitek. Kind of a neat note I got on the scoreboard here. Varitek, the only baseball player in Georgia Tech history to have his number 33 retired. Now, Nomar was a teammate of his, but Nomar's number is not retired. Here's ball 4 to Veritek.
Between innings, Pedro apparently getting a little stiff back. As, you can see him talking to Chris Correnti, one of the Red Sox trainers, and it looks like Correnti will take him down in that tunnel and stretch him out a little bit. Doesn't seem to be anything serious because there is no activity in the Red Sox bullpen. Pedro at 91 pitches in this game.
There's Tony Clark 0 for 3, ground out, fly out, and a strikeout. Tony looking for his first hit of the night. Red Sox out hitting San Diego 5-2. Missing away again, 2-0.
Which side of the hotel did you have your room on?
The marina side.
Oh, you're lucky, yeah, because some disgruntled lady today I was in the elevator with, she was very upset because she had a room facing new construction. They're building a new addition to the hotel, and I guess the pounding starts at like 6:37 in the morning. She was very, very unhappy with her accommodations. I had to listen to that for 16 floors.
Matos turns and fires to get the lead man, and on to first to complete the double play. They got Veritek at second base. Matos had to spin around to start the double play, but they turn it 4-6-3, 2 down.
And Trujillo's got that sinking fastball with that sidearm delivery. Should induce quite a few ground balls. And here Matos to Davy Cruz to pick up the double play. Matos, as we told you last night, was rated last year as the best defensive player throughout the whole minor league system for the Padres. And I didn't know it hit me. I get in the elevator and said, "You hear that pounding, in the morning?" I said, "No, I don't." So what side of the hotel's your room on? And I said, "Look, and I'm sorry. I apologize. Not my fault." I couldn't wait for that door to open in the lower lobby. Miserable. Imagine living with that every day. Oh, God.
What time is it back home right now? Just after midnight.
Talk about.
The 1-0 inside to Nixon. He's able to somehow elude it. 2-0. Things have been known to get a little weird after midnight. I know we sort of delved into some interesting topics in Oakland earlier in the year.
What are we talking about there?
Oh, we get into the whole Fatty Arbuckle, Death Palace. And 2-0 pitch is a strike. Once you get a room changed, did you happen to follow the rest of the story?
That's what I wanted to tell her, but I said, I don't want a confrontation with this nut because, I'm just going to work. I'm trying to be in a good mood, and I'm saying somebody's married to her, has got to live with this.
Lined into left center, a base hit for Trot Nixon. The 6th hit of the night for the Red Sox, and a 2-out base hit for Trot Nixon.
Nixon keeps a hitting streak now at 4 games. 3, but finally picks up the base hit to center field. Unusual submarine-style delivery. A lot of movement on the baseball. Up toward the end of the back. Nixon takes the hit.
Reach base in the 3rd inning. He was hit by a pitch. He's grounded out to 3rd. Fly into the track and left. Great running catch by Eugene Kingsale last time to rob him of assuredly would have been extra bases. Well, you can certainly understand her plight. They spent a lot of money to stay at a hotel.
No, I agree, but the place was not full. Go to the front desk and ask to change your room.
Don't tell Jerry Remy about it.
Don't take it out on me. I don't even know you. She looked like she hadn't slept in about a week, too.
No. It happens when you have construction right outside your window. 1-1. This chop foul outside of 3rd. Well, she probably thought after meeting you, as many do, that she had the illusion that you cared about her situation. You were concerned about her well-being.
I mean, at first I felt bad for her. But it got to a point like somewhere between the 10th and 9th floor where I'm saying to myself, why do I have to listen to this? It's not my fault, you know? And by the time I got to the bottom, I couldn't wait to get away. It was ridiculous.
Over to first, and Nixon's back in plenty of time.
You got to take that gruff at home, you know, and accept it, and that's it. And you can't do anything about it. But, you know, in a hotel 3,000 miles away, you don't want to hear it.
I wondered why you were running out of the elevator. 1-2. This is low and away. Top of the 8th inning. Red Sox on top 3-0. 2 runs in the 5th and a run in the 7th inning. A 2-run triple for Johnny Damon in the 5th inning. And Omar Garcia-Parra with a double. It scored Ricky Henderson in the 7th inning. A 2-2. There goes Nixon. The pitch is outside and high. Throw down is not in time. But Nixon steals second base, jumps up into scoring position with 2 down.
Nixon picks up his 3rd. One of the things about submarine-style pitches, generally they're very slow to home plate. You see the high leg kick, it takes a long time for that arm to come around, and even though it's a good, strong throw from Leaky Gonzalez, no chance to get Nixon. He had an excellent jump.
And he walked Sulu Merloni. So first base was vacant. It'll now be occupied by Merloni.
Yeah, with the Pedro coming up, they go to the 3-2 breaking ball with Merloni and take their chances with Pedro.
2 walks given up by Trujillo.
Standing ovation from a lot of the crowd here for Pedro.
Martinez flied to center field his last time up, walked and scored in the 5th inning. A sacrifice bunt back in the 3rd. A Pedro chant going up in San Diego. 1-1.
Pedro was actually taking some extra batting practice yesterday prior to the ball game.
Fishing after that one, 1-2.
He didn't like that sidearm delivery there.
Nixon at second, Merloni at first, 2 down. Pedro Martinez at the plate. Same general location. Pedro lays off this time, 2-2. Third pitcher used by the Padres goes up top and misses. A full count now to Pedro, who walked back in the 5th inning.
And if Pedro is able to make contact with a base hit, a better chance the runners will be off on the 3-2 count to score. That outfield very shallow against Martinez.
Full count to Pedro Martinez, 2 down in the 8th. They struck him out. Pedro went lunging and strikes out to conclude the top of the 8th inning. The end of 7.5 from San Diego, 3-0 Boston. Back at Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California, where Pedro Martinez has been outstanding tonight. For the first 7 innings, Pedro has struck out 10, including Ryan Fusco among others. And Ricky Gonzalez. 10 strikeouts on the night for Martinez through the first 7 innings. Bouding striking out the first 5 to begin Pedro's outing. 2-run triple for Johnny Damon. Henderson with a single walk and 2 runs. And Omar Garcia-Parra with an RBI double as well. Martinez 7 shutout innings. It is Kevin Pickford who worked the first 4 2/3, giving up 2 runs, 4 hits, who is on the hook for the San Diego Padres tonight as the The Red Sox enjoy the 3-0 advantage heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. Here is Wiki Gonzalez, the catcher for the Padres. Walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th. It starts off behind. Gonzalez played in the first game of the series, had last night off, in there tonight. As the Red Sox head out of town, the Yankees will be arriving in town tonight. In fact, they may be here. They had a day game against Colorado today, which they lost.
Hope they all have rooms on the construction side of the hotel.
Chopped down the third baseline, foul. Well, the Red Sox have quite a contingent that follow them. We know the Yankees have quite a contingent also. Sure, the crowds here in San Diego will be big for the Yankee series. You were saying before they travel like rock stars, they said in the pregame?
I've been told by people, some of the media, television, radio who travel with them say that it's incredible every place they go. It's just, hotels are loaded with people, autograph seekers, and that affects some of the media stay at different hotels.
They get away from
them.
There's the 97th pitch of the night from Pedro Martinez. Struck him out. Strikeout number 11 for Pedro. Second time Wiki Gonzalez down by way of the K.
One away from tying his season high. Again, Reyes back with the fastball. Plenty of velocity left for Pedro here in the 8th inning. This is a very, very nice performance tonight by Martinez.
And again, it brings you back to the type of games that he had against Seattle, the Yankees. Look out.
Whoa. Fan got it right in the first row down there above the Boston dugout. It's a long way from home plate. It's into that fan in the first row.
Yeah, looks like you got a pretty good gash on the forehead.
Matos had it out of the hands, waiting on the 0-1. And this 1-1 to Matos. Well, the Red Sox coming out of the dugout to look up in that direction. 1-2 now to Matos. Eugene Kingsale waits on deck as the Padres bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chopped to third. Hillenbrand even with the bag. The throw there in time to retire Julius Matos. 2 down, and now 16 in a row retired by Pedro Martinez.
Number 18, Gene Kingsale.
Pedro up to 101 pitches. This will be it for Pedro this inning?
Yeah, probably will be. Looks like Rabina is loosening up down in the bullpen.
A strike to Eugene Kingsale, who struck out in the 5th inning in his only at bat. Came on as part of a double switch in the top of the 5th. Kingsale, a switch hitter, 25 years old. 1-1 on the ground. On the backhand, Merloni throws against the grain and off balance to retire Eugene Kingsale. 17 in a row set down by Pedro Martinez. It's on to the 9th. 3-0 Boston. Back inside Qualcomm Stadium as we prepare for the 9th. Red Sox on top 3-0. Trying to obtain some insurance as we move to the ninth. Henderson, Damon, and Garcia Parra. The expected trio in the ninth against J.J. Trujillo. Ricky Henderson is 1 for 3 tonight, a hit and a walk. He has scored twice. Leadoff hitter for the Red Sox. For the strike to Ricky, 1 and 2.
Yeah, the familiar Yankee chant goes up here at San Diego.
The Padres have joined in. Padres fans who have been going against the Red Sox fans in chants seem to agree with this last one.
I believe it's the first time the Yankees will play here since being in the World Series against the Padres.
Two to Ricky. Johnny Damon waits on deck. Henderson fouls it off the right side. Still 2-2 to Ricky. Red Sox will head to Los Angeles after the game. Get ready for the Dodgers over the weekend. And they will face former teammate Hideo Nomo. First game of the series, Nomo against John Burkett. Ricky gets hit with the pitch. Maloney was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Well, Ricky struck with a pitch here in the 9th.
It's like right off the tricep for Ricky. And he will eventually make his way down to first base.
Booker, the pitching coach, is out from the Padres dugout, and he'll head to the mound to talk to his pitcher, J.J. Trujillo. The Padres will have some stirring in their pen as he heads to the mound. Kevin Pickford started tonight. A spot start for the Padres. Bobby Jones was scratched. An elbow problem. Pickford 4 2/3, giving up 2 runs. He is on the hook right now. Rodney Myers went 2 shutout innings, or I should say 2 innings with 1 run. And then J.J. Trujillo has come on and not given up a run. An inning and a 1/3 of relief. Right-handed action in the Padres bullpen.
Jason Middlebrook, the right-hander. He's worked in the first game of this series.
Johnny Damon has 2 hits, single, a triple. He's walked and grounded out. He's also driven in 2 runs. Damon's RBI total with the 2 tonight up to 34 on the season. And a quick check on Ricky Henderson. Appears to be all right out over there after being hit by a pitch. Still checking on it. What about the elbow? Looks like bottom of the bicep, or tricep, I should say. 1-0. Swatted foul off the left side. 1-1. Red Sox with double-barreled action.
Urbina, probably if it stays a 3-run ball game. Haney, maybe if the Red Sox tack on some runs there in the 9th.
Gets away from the catcher Gonzalez, and Henderson will move up to second base. A potential insurance run for the Red Sox as Henderson now in scoring position. With nobody out of the inning. Count of 2-1 to Johnny Damon.
It's not exactly been a dazzling performance for Trujillo. Greeted by the double from Garcia Parra, a couple of walks, a hit batter.
behind Damon 3-1. Nomar waits on deck. Lead man get on in the 8th and Veritek, but he was able to get the double play. He gave up a hit to Nixon, a walk to Maloney before striking out Pedro Martinez to end the 8th. All 4, and on his way to first goes Johnny Damon. The 3rd walk given up by J.J. Trujillo. That'll do it. Bruce Bochy out of the dugout will go to the bullpen, and the Padres will use their 4th pitcher of the night. So the Red Sox have the first 2 men on here in the top of the 9th as they look to add more runs to their total. Still in the midst of the 9th. 3-0 Boston. Back here in the top of the 9th inning, the Red Sox on top 3-0 as the Padres have changed pitchers. Time now for our Citizens Bank Not Your Typical Fans. More Red Sox fans, and there are so many here tonight. And have been for the 3-game series. New pitcher on for the Padres, their 4th of the night, Jason Middlebrook.
8 appearances this year. 2 of those have been starts. Not so much success in the starts. 0-2 with an ERA of 11. Much better work out of the bullpen. He's pitching his 2nd inning against the Red Sox on Tuesday. A perfect 9th inning, striking out 1 batter.
Trujillo responsible for the 2 Red Sox runners on. Boston getting the first 2 on here in the 9th. Henderson was hit by a pitch, and then Johnny Damon walked. So 2 on without the benefit of a hit. He's going to face the heart of the Boston order with no outs. Nomar Garcia-Parra, Shea Hillenbrand, and Jason Veritek. Nomar doubled and drove in a run in his last at bat in the 7th inning. Haney and Urbina continue to warm in the Boston pen. Number foul in behind home plate. 0-1 to Nomar Garcia-Parra. Pedro Martinez, who is likely done after 8 very strong innings tonight. The Padres have not had a base runner since the 3rd inning. Pedro has retired 17 in a row. He struck out 11 tonight. And is in line to pick up his 8th win, would make him 8-2, barring a Padres comeback. On the 3rd base line, foul, 0-2 to Nomar.
Middlebrook got some major league time a year ago with the Padres. Made 3 starts for him. 4 appearances overall. We told you on Monday night, a graduate of Stanford University, where he majored in economics. A little bit like the Mike Messina story, except Mike graduated in 3 years.
No 2 pitch. Nomar grounds it outside of 3rd and foul. The Padres will be sending up in the bottom of the 9th, and at the moment dealing with at the very least a 3-run deficit. Marcotte, Davy Cruz, and then the pitcher spot expected in the 9th. Henderson at 2nd, Damon at 1st. Nobody out. The 0-2 to Nomar. In the dirt, Gonzalez comes up with it and keeps it in front of him. Johnny Damon tripled in 2 runs in the 5th. Nomar doubled in a run of his own in the 7th inning. And it is 3-0 Boston as the Red Sox bat in the 9th. The air to center field. Marcotte running. He's not going to get there. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Henderson will score. Johnny Damon will come around. Nomar's thinking 3. The throw is not in time. A 2-run triple for Garcia-Parra, and the Red Sox lead at 5-0.
Not a bad night for Garcia Parra. 2 for 4, a double, now a triple, and 3 RBI to run that total of 55 on the season. That'll move him up into 3rd place in the American League in runs batted in. Ricky, who was hit, scores, and Damon, who was walked, scores.
And the 2 runs charged to J.J. Trujillo over his inning in the 3rd of work. He's touched for 2 runs. Hillenbrand fouls it off. Middlebrook allowing the 2 inherited runners to score. Now responsible for Nomar stands at 3rd with nobody out in the top of the 9th. On the ground, second baseman Matos playing about halfway, throws out Hillenbrand, and still at 3rd is Nomar, 1 down.
Nobody out. You generally play contact on a ground ball with the infield in. Had they had contact on Nomar, probably would have scored easily on that because the second baseman had to go to his left and back to make the play. You see that play more often with 1 out than with nobody out.
It was Varitek who walked his last time, 0 for 3 tonight. After he walked last time up, he was erased and a double play grounded into by Tony Clark, who waits on deck. So the Red Sox have 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of just 1 hit. Hit batsman and a walk. Popped up into shallow left center field. Back goes to the shortstop. Cruz. In comes from left Eugene Kingsale, who runs it down. He was in left field and had to run full bore almost to the infield to make the catch. 2 down.
And fortunately for Kingsale, he was a little bit shallow because the left-handed hitter was at the plate, and that's one that normally the shortstop would make, but because the infield in, Kingsale has to come a long way to make that. Made a couple of nice defensive plays coming in this game.
Bob Merloni of extra bases back at the wall, running into the wall, make a fine catch in deep left. 2 down. Nomar still at 3rd. Tony Clark 0 for 4 tonight. Clark bounced into a double play last time up. He has grounded out twice, flied out, struck out. On the ground, playing a very deep second base was Matos for the outfield grass to throw out Tony Clark. But the Red Sox add a pair in the top of the 9th on to the bottom of the 9th. Now 5-0 Boston.
Bottom of the 9th, the Red Sox have a 5-0 lead now over the San Diego Padres. Remind you, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Boston Red Sox.
Red Sox have a new left fielder as well as a new pitcher, as Brian Daubach has come in to play left field for Boston. We're for the bottom of the 9th inning. Ricky Henderson leaving, and the new pitcher for Boston, lefty Chris Haney.
5th appearance for Haney in a Red Sox uniform. It's been a long time. Arizona series back at Fenway the last time he worked. Excuse me, it was the Colorado series. Pitched an inning in that ball game, allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Overall has a 1.42 ERA and 6 in the 3rd innings.
Pedro Martinez goes 8 innings tonight. Shutout baseball. He gave up just 2 hits. Padres have not had a base runner since the 3rd. He walked 1 and struck out 11. Retired the last 17 San Diego Padres that he faced before leaving here. And in line for his 8th win of the season. Kotze sends it on the ground. Tony Clark will take it alone. There's the first out in the bottom of the 9th.
Crowds have got pretty rowdy over the last couple of nights here in San Diego. We had a couple of nuts run on the field between innings, male and female. Looked like a couple. And the female was taken down rather quickly. The male got as far as center field. But there have been some fisticuffs in the stands.
This place really does remind me of Oakland, because Oakland's usually a pretty rowdy crowd.
I thought this was laid back down here, though, in San Diego.
I think they're Padres very seriously. Davy Cruz is 0 for 3. Short swing foul by the Padres dugout. I think the tailgating thing probably has something to do with that. They start very early here. Early afternoon. Takes that one off. Foul. Still 0-2. Are the palm trees lit, or am I just missing something?
I think they are lit, yeah.
They seem like, yeah, they are. They have them lit up. I really like the palm trees. I know you don't. The 0-2. Broken back grounder towards Merlone. Waits on it and throws in time. 2 down.
I like baseball, Don. And I like the fact there are 2 outs here in the ninth.
You like quick baseball.
I'll say one thing. These National League games that we have been playing since in Atlanta, they have a tendency to move along a bit better than the American League.
I think all the games, the Braves, the Padres, have all been about 2:20 to 2.5.
This is a long one tonight, actually. Trujillo messed it up. It was going quickly.
There's Trinidad Hubbard to pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, last chance for the Padres. We're now seeing a total of 19 in a row retired between Pedro Martinez, who did the bulk of that 19, and Chris Haney, who's retired the first 2 outs of the 9th inning. Padres have not had a base runner since the 3rd inning, and they've had only 2 hits tonight. Marcatse, who grounded out to begin this inning, has 1. D'Angelo Jimenez with the other. And there have been no extra base hits for San Diego. They have been kept in check tonight by Pedro Martinez, and the first 2 outs of the 9th by Chris Haney. 2-1. Up and away, and it's now 3-1. Chop to third. Shea Hillenbrand to his left. This should do it, and does. The Red Sox take 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Padres as interleague play continues. A marvelous performance tonight for Pedro Martinez. And Pedro will pick up his 8th victory of the year. It'll make him 8-2. The loss going to the Padres spot starter tonight in Kevin Pickford, who takes the loss in the Red Sox with a shutout victory, winning tonight 5-0. Nomar Garciaparra with a terrific night tonight. Ends up with 3 RBIs, a double and a triple. And the Red Sox out-hit the San Diego Padres 7-2 en route to their 5-0 victory. Well, the Red Sox moving right along here on this trip on the West Coast, and a nice 2 out of 3, but a very impressive outing for Pedro, Jerry.
Outstanding Pedro tonight. You could tell he had his fastball, changeup, curveball working, all pitches going for him. And Red Sox doing some key 2-out damage offensively to pick up this win. So 2 out of 3 in San Diego. Let's move up the coast.
The Red Sox get their major league leading 9th shutout victory as they win it tonight 5-0. Martinez the winner, Pickford the loser. Does it for us from San Diego. Let's send it back to Boston and Bob Rogers. Bob?
All right, Donnie, worth staying up for tonight, watching the Red Sox beat the Padres. And yes, they take 2 out of 3. As we mentioned earlier, Jim Corsi, he's not going to go the distance tonight. He's at home, and we'll have extra innings again on Sunday when the Red Sox take on the Los Angeles Dodgers. But right now, let's just at least show you the highlights from the ball game tonight in San Diego. You know, Pedro Martinez, you know, he's had terrific games in San Diego over the years, and tonight he does it again, perhaps his best performance of the season. He was awesome. In fact, Marcatse gone. Davy Cruz down on strikes. Ryan Klesko, all in the first inning, he strikes out the side. Then he comes back. Ray Langford, Bubba Trammell also strikes out. Pedro strikes out the first 5 hitters he faces. Top of the 5th inning, it's Pedro at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Should be an easy inning for the Padres. Instead, it's a walk by Kevin Pickford, and that's trouble for the Padres because the walk to the pitcher is always trouble And Johnny Damon will make him pay. 2 batters later, drills one to the gap in right center field, and everybody's going to run for a while. Pedro scores. Ricky Henderson is in, and the Red Sox have the 2-0 lead, and you felt at that point that that would be plenty with the way Pedro was pitching on the hill. And you know what? It was plenty because he was awesome. Eugene Kingsale down looking at the breaking ball. Pedro, 10 strikeouts through 5. He had 11 strikeouts in the ball game. Just 2 hits over 8 innings. The Padres did not have a base runner after the 3rd inning. Red Sox will add to their lead a little bit later, but first, a nice defense in this game as Kingsale goes up against the wall to take one away from Lou Merlone. Watch it again. That is a fine catch. Well, the only highlight for the Padres. We go to the 7th inning. Nomar Garciaparra rips the double to left. Henderson will score from second base. Red Sox get some insurance. They did not need it. It was 3-zip, and they'll get some more in the top of the 9th. Nomar again. Why is the outfield playing so shallow? You've got to be kidding me against Nomar. That will score 2 runs. Henderson and Johnny Damon both score. Garciaparra has a triple. And you know what was nice, too? Nomar, of course, from the West Coast. His dad in the stands to watch this one, so that's nice. Good one for the Red Sox tonight. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. For the Padres, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. Johnny Damon goes 2 for 3 with a couple of walks, but Pedro Martinez, his 83rd career 10 strikeout game, his 5th this season, and just 2 hits over 8 shutout innings. The best performance from Pedro this season. Let's hope he can build on it. And yes, the Yankees lost today too, so the Red Sox increase their lead now in the American League East to a 1.5 games. So that is our brief rundown of the ball game tonight. Again, hope you'll join us again on Sunday. So once again, the final score from San Diego, the Red Sox shutting out the San Diego Padres 5-0. In our next game here on